You want to talk about like what you said like about like spamming grab and like not wanting to win that way before we start?
Okay, so normally when I play foxes, pretty much I feel like I'm just waiting for them to make the mistake. Like I'm just playing in a way such that like I'm jumping and then wave landing back and just waiting for their approaching aerial, and then I'm just trying to grab that. Like I'm just waiting for them to make that one mistake that allowed me to grab them. But when they don't give me that, I don't know how to beat them because like my whole gameplay is predicated on getting that grab and then like doing something afterwards. But when I don't get that, I'm like kind of lost because I let them live far too long and then it's just over.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely have felt that way a lot, but basically this matchup is like the easiest matchup in the game, like on both sides, like as a baseline, but mastery of it is like impossible for both characters. So in terms of like Fox's like win condition, he's just trying to get damage and do a kill, and then whatever his kill move is, it'll change based on percent, which is very important in this matchup. It's like if he's around 50, up smash or up throw up air, and then when he gets to the higher percents, he can only kill with like back air and like up tilt. But then like post win condition is not necessarily the grab, so it'll seem that way, especially at like mid to low level, where it's like the Fox is just either not going to DI the up throw like rest, or they're just going to go to like up throw and then you just like do the up air and they tech trap and then they miss the tech every single time because they just don't know it like exists, and then they just die to wrist. So like that, like it might seem that way, the grab's like the win condition, but it's really just like a knockdown in general. So it's like it's just both characters are just looking for their like win condition into the kill, and it changes every percent. So to like it's pretty hard for me to look at your gameplay and like kind of draw out like what I want to say. So that's why I'm gonna just like pull up a Hbox Vod if I'm just doing pretty good stocks, just to like explain that. But I will go into your gameplay in a second. I also want to go to Uncle Punch and like look over like platform setups because you don't really do any of them. And
All right.
yeah, turn off the sound. Okay. So Hbox dies. That's okay. He was being really stupid here and just holding shield, but it's whatever. It's just gonna happen in this matchup. So when you have the invincibility, you can just go for one really hard read. I would say you kind of understand this concept, just going for hard read, and then you can get like a soft read sometimes, like Hbox here. Gets a soft read here with this roll, but his hard read was like hoping that Fox just dashes in initially. But he gets the roll, and at this level he's gonna just DI the up the rest, so he gets a perfect back air into a back air, and then this edge guard was really good by Hbox. I noticed in your gameplay, but essentially whenever you have an edge guard on Fox, or pretty much every character, you don't really want to grab the ledge like before you actually like do something in your edge guard. In this situation, like Hbox is like, there's literally no reason to grab the ledge here, so he just goes out and just tries to read like OBW jumping the first time, then just covers the up B again anyways. So that was not like, I wouldn't want to say like the win condition was a little bit less obvious there because he just got a soft read, but this stock is a little bit better. So okay, so this is basically what you were talking about with the spam and grab thing, but the reason that Hbox is going for this kind of grab, and like it seems like he's just trying to hope that IBW messes up here, which he has said before, so he might actually be thinking that. But the reason he goes for grab here above all else is because Fox is at 0, and because he's at 0, he can't get his knockdown without a grab. Whereas like your backer doesn't knock down, your pound doesn't even knock down at 0. So the only thing that can actually get a knockdown, which is the win condition, is grab. So that's why he goes for grab. And then he goes for a tech chase, and he should have just gone for a rest after this up throw, but it doesn't really matter that much. Now the knockdown kill, that condition changes. He no longer really wants a grab. He'll take a grab, of course, because it'll still combo into like up throw backer like he did before. But now he's going to start looking for up air and up tilt because it's at 17%, the up air knocks down. So before this, if he, let's say he didn't get the grab, he could have gone for like a back air or something and then gone for a pound. That's a pretty classic setup where once you get to 4%, pound starts knocking down, and that's very important because that's your first like knockdown into a kill setup. So Hungrybox could have done that, but he got the grab at 0, which is a better situation than getting a back air into a pound. So now he's gonna start looking for up air. He's really just not caring about grab anymore. He gets this nair, which is fine. He's just doing this as a landing option. And he just literally just like watches like 10 seconds. He just like spams. God. He just literally just spams kill move here. Up air, falling up air, up tilt. And then he just gets a kill. And then that's like essentially how this matchup works. It's like working into your kill knockdowns like over and over again and just looking at the percents like all the time and being like, okay, he's at 19, I can start going for spamming up air and up tilt. And then like he's at 0, I'm going for grabs. He's at like 6%, I'm going for pound. If he's at like 35%, which is when backer knocks down, I can start going for backer and trying to get a tech chase on a backer. And then like 70% nair, stuff like that. So like that's like basically like the game plan for Puff is like trying to get a knockdown into a kill, not necessarily grabbing the kill. But yeah.
All right. And then you kind of want to like, as soon as possible, like what is the percent where you're like, all right, maybe they're just like alive a little too long?
I would say around 90 is when it gets really annoying. Like when you get to 90%, you don't really have a knockdown into a kill anymore because they're just gonna hold down on your back here. At 90, they're just gonna snap to ledge and you're just gonna be like, oh, that sucks. That's just like the 2022 stuff. So in that percent range, you want to either get like a weak nair usually will knock down into a good knockdown where they won't be able to snap to ledge and we would like nair forward smash or something like that, and that's really good. But a lot of the time now you have to do like a cross up downer on their shield to try and get a shield poke on their feet into a grab, or like down air forward smash or something like that. So you never really want to get Fox, especially Falco too, above like 90-ish. Then it gets really annoying because getting an edge guard is way harder than just getting a knockdown into like a rest, or like a knockdown into just like literally a kill instantly, like a backer stuff. Because an edge guard is just pretty hard in this matchup, and that's just how it is.
Gosh, that makes so much sense. Because my whole game plan was predicated on, okay, I'm just gonna try to get them off stage because I feel like that's what I should be doing. But then I've just been getting mixed up all the time because it's like so many things you have to keep in mind. Like if they could easily double jump immediate side B, they could go really low. And then I just can't cover everything. And I feel like I have to know how to cover everything. And I just get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, it's like, I could talk about the edge guard when you get to the games, but you can't really cover everything like you said. It's just like, it's a lot of the times Hungrybox is reading a lot of his edge guards. He's very good at just like guessing correctly a lot. But sometimes you can cover a lot of the stuff. But yeah, that's like basically the general game plan of just the matchup. And then this wasn't prevalent. Hungrybox kind of doesn't do this as much anymore. He does very simplistic platform movement. Like this is like new age Hungrybox. He just like wave dash on the platform. And he's like, I'm gonna do this back air right here. Like this is basically his entire platform game right now. He does this back air and this forward air. And the whole reason he's doing these kind of movements is, one, he's just kind of camping at the Fox and hoping that they like try and get frustrated and do a really bad like dash in, and then so he can just do drop back air and just cover the dash and then get percent in a safe way, because it's very hard to punish this kind of back air if they're just trying to dash in to cover movement. And then another reason why he does this is like, I don't want to say like it's the best thing in the world to camp Fox, because it's not really true. I think the only stage where camping Fox the entire game is the correct strategy is FD, just because there's no platforms, because you can't actually approach.
Yep.
So it's kind of lazy game plan, I would say. Hungrybox is way better before quarantine and doing the correct game plan, which is, so level 1, we talked about it in Sheik, whereas like you throw out a back air and they shield it. So that's like the level 1 in that matchup. But in this matchup, the level 1 really is like Fox dashing in to try and take center from Puff, and Puff is on the platform, and then Puff does Waveland off the platform back air and covers Fox dashing to center. So that's like the level 1 game plan. So that will be a lot of your damage, like at low damage, besides grab, because then you get the back air and then you go for pound right after. But that's like the level 1. The level 2 mix up here to approach would be Waveland off the platform into pound. And the reason that works is because, like the Sheik matchup, when they were scared of your back air, this time in Fox is too fast enough to actually just like dash out of the way of the back air and whiff punish it, because that's a lot of the way he gets damage. So he's going to want to dash back after the back air, but the pound reaches just a little bit further, so it caches the dash back. And then that just is a mix-up on the timing. So that's like the level 2. Then the level 3 would be like, Fox is like expecting you to do the pound because you got to level 2. And then they do a dash back even further to cover the pound. Zane's very good at it. If you've ever watched his sets or Hungrybox, he's just like dash backing so far away from the pound and just like grabbing Hungrybox and just down throw tippering him. But with Fox, he's doing the same thing, but Fox takes a lot more risk when he does it. So to beat the dash back from the pound, you just Waveland and then just drop here, and then you set up a corner sequence, which is like, it's basically the easiest way to get a kill, because when Fox is in the corner, a lot of the time they're going to get scared, and they will throw out a panic option. They'll just like roll in and you just get a rest or a grab. And then there's a way to essentially cover most of their options. So when Fox is shielding here, they're going to be like, I have to figure out a way to get out of the sequence. I can either jump, I can roll, I can drop shield and just start dashing. I can wave dash out a shield jab. I can do a few other options. So Puff, to cover that, Puff wants to like empty land here and then like set up a reaction time, which is not easy, I will say. So a lot of the times you're going to get a read here instead of a reaction. So they're going to up air the jump. They're going to try and wave dash back and grab if they try and do like a short hop nair, let's say if they aren't shielding, which is not a reactable sequence used most of the time. So that's why it's way harder to react here. And then if they stay still and shield or something like that, they're just going to get a tomahawk grab. So that's like, that's an easy way to get the knockdown into a kill, is just getting Fox into the corner. But that's not like, I'm not saying like that's the only way to win the matchup is to get Fox quartered, because it's very hard to consistently quarter Fox, as you'll see. But essentially that's like one of the mix-ups. And then let's say I'm going to push Fox over here. But do you have any questions on that?
No, I kind of read about that. I think I was like, it was on the, I think it was the Melee Library.
Yeah, it's on the Puff Bible too.
Yeah, it's on the Puff Bible. That's some, I think it was like I think he called it Alex pressure. I don't remember what it was called or something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember reading about that. But every time I get them in the corner, I don't necessarily do that. I kind of just, I like back air and then I just try to like read the up air. Or I try to read by going up air, but then they kind of just like nair out of the corner. And I'm like, oh, well, that's an option.
Yeah, the short hop nair is like the only way to beat that, is to hard read it and just like get a wave dash back, holding down and grab a lot of the time. And then if you're out of the crouch cancel percent, you'll probably just want to just like do a short hop back here like this to cover the nair. A lot of the reasons why you might not be able to get the corner pressure correctly is if you full hop here. Every time that Puff full hops, there has to be a setup before it. So when Fox is here and Puff is here, see how long like this full hop is? It's just like, whereas a short hop, it's like you instantly can back air. Whereas a full hop, you're like, when can you actually hit Fox in this sequence? Is like this. Whereas like you're instantly hitting Fox right here if he just tries to like dash at you. So that's why you might mess up the corner pressure a lot, is if you just like full hop to try and react, or like full hop like try and be like, oh, I'm gonna try and up air here and then like do a back air like that. And that's a pretty common way to mess up the corner sequence. But okay, yeah, that would probably be a reason why you messed it up. But besides that, there's also the problem when Fox gets here, which isn't an approaching situation. You can't like Waveland off the platform here because it's not really going to cover everything. And Fox can just be like, oh, you're Waveland off the platform, I'm just going to run it up smash, and you're just dead. So you don't really want to Waveland off that platform. You either want to do like one of three things. You want to jump, is probably the main way to beat this, because Fox right here is going to be spamming up tilt, and you can't really come down on that. So jumping and then just like going to top platform, going off stage. You can also go off stage with a Waveland as well to try and get off quicker. Then the third way is, it's not necessarily Wavelanding off this platform, it's jumping and then just doing like an edge cancel here, and then you have the option of trying to hit Fox or you can jump back to the platform. You can jump to the top platform after using the Waveland. It's like you have so many mix-ups off of just doing a plot like edge cancel here, and it's very important. So whenever Fox in the sequence, you basically want to just reset the situation entirely, because you don't really want to just like wave off this platform and just like try and hope you can catch Fox, because a lot of the times they're just going to be holding down here and they'll just run dash grab and you're just dead. So you want to avoid this situation at all costs as well.
Okay.
In terms of like what Hungrybox does a lot of the time too, like when I was talking about when he does this kind of sequence, he also does like wave dash back and tries to like shield grab, or like kind of like ASDI down grab Foxes trying to like nair onto the platform, which is like good, but Foxes nowadays are getting pretty good at just like going underneath the platform immediately and not even playing the mix-up. So if a Fox is like doing that kind of movement where they just like try to nair onto the platform and try and catch you, you can do like, you can like wave dash down and ASDI down grab the nair. If you're not in that percent, you can like wave dash cross them up and then turn around grab them. It's pretty good too. If they do back air, you can kind of like wave dash back grab the back air, or you can try and catch the jump before the back air comes out too with the shield grab. They're kind of like cheesy stuff, but I don't know if you ever. There's so many sets where Hungrybox like, especially
he
just shield grab him like this.
You just shield grab him before they get up there. I've definitely seen him do that.
Yeah.
Fair amount of times.
I definitely remember one set versus IW who was just like, I'm really just spamming up air right here, and Hungrybox was just like shield grabbing over and over again, nothing. And
oh yeah, that was the summit set. I remember that one.
Yeah, so that's like a classic situation. Whereas like, it's not like that high risk for Puff to do this kind of like shield grab. So it's like it's a mix up. I don't want to say that's your primary goal. Like I'd rather just escape the situation entirely with like the wave dash back off the platform. You can also do an up air here as well too to try and like catch their nair onto the platform if they do that as well too. So like those are your platform mix-ups, which are very important in the matchup. But now I can go into like the actual game.
Okay.
Yeah, that is like, yeah, that is like really important. I don't know why Hungrybox doesn't really do that much approaching movement anymore, because he used to be very, I don't know how to describe it. He used to be very aggressive on the platforms, but now he's just been very defensive gameplay. Alright, let me open this up. Okay, so Battlefield game is probably the game I want to look over.
Yep.
This was good. I like this opener. Just taking center immediately, or trying to. If you could have actually shield dropped like this way and gone to center, but it's not really that important. So this time you go for a nair. I mean, I don't really know what this is trying to do. So when Fox, like I was talking about the corner being really good. What Fox is trying to do when he is cornered, essentially, is he's trying to either catch you just like doing a full hop, which I was talking about, where it requires setup and like space to get a full hop out, so you can actually start like threatening things. And also Fox is trying to laser you. So Fox kind of wants a distance from Puff where he can laser and dash back out of any kind of like back air or pound sequence, and that's like his like range. So a lot of the times that'll leave him cornered. So whenever you see Fox lasering like this, literally just start jumping towards him, like just like empty land. Like don't really do a wave dash, because again it's kind of like a full hop where it's like laggy. So you just like start like empty hop, short hopping towards him, and then you get him cornered, and then you can start doing the corner sequence.
Okay.
It's not as good at this percent, but you can get a grab ultimately, which is what you want at 0. Okay. Okay, so full hop in this matchup, you actually did have enough space to set this up, which is good. But full hop is good because you can waveland off the platform. That's like the main reason that full hop is good. So you had a full hop right here. If you just waveland off the platform, you're on the platform now, and you have a couple. You have your entire 3 mix-ups again. You have your waveland off the platform back here. You have your waveland off the platform pound, and you have your waveland off the platform take space into center. But this kind of approaching full hop makes it so Fox can just start running under you. And I don't know why he jumps here. He had a free kill. Well, he had a free hit. He didn't have a kill, obviously, because you're 0. But he has a free hit if he just runs under you, and he can out smash here. He can just like run under up tilt is probably the best move. But yeah, he does this jump. It doesn't really make sense to try and like do these kinds of sharking movements with a backer, because this will never lead to a knockdown. And like, yeah, it will lead to like damage towards like the next knockdown percent. But this kind of full hop approach is so like aggressive to the point where Fox should be able to punish it, and it leaves you in a really bad spot, because let's say Fox like let's say he chilled here instead of doing a run under up tilt, or he did like with this full hop he could have done a backer or a nair. You're if he gets a nair into an up tilt, you're into a backer, you're taking 40% for doing this full hop, where your entire like best case scenario was hitting a backer, which is like not good. So what I would have done is I would have just full hop, and then you could have waveland off the platform, and I would have just seen where he went from there. And based on this Fox gameplay, he was probably going to dash into the corner, so I would have just like waved off the platform and then just landed center without full hopping at all, and then I'd be able to just like do like a really safe like short hop auto cancel backer to cover his dash in, or I would have done a really aggressive like short hop fast fall auto cancel to try and catch a dash back, which is pretty important a lot in the matchup. It's like mixing up between auto cancel back here and short hop fast fall back here is very good to catch either the dash in or the dash back respectively.
Okay.
But yeah, this falling up air, I think it was just habit. It's okay to do falling up air against Fox, more so than Sheik, because falling up air versus Fox, you do it a lot, where you can get like falling up air to grab. Is very important to like try and negate I would say the knockdown situation. It doesn't negate it perfectly, because sometimes they can get out of the up air sequence. Either they can just like kind of recognize that they shouldn't actually hit you and just like dash away, like I was saying, to try and whiff punish you, or they can just like DI out of the grab and then you won't get a true follow-up. So at low damage, like Fox just wants to just like nair you a bunch, and it's fine to shield here, but you're really not scared of anything unless the Fox starts drilling you. Drill is just the only way that Fox has a true way to beat crouch, because they don't really want to spam nair against you if you're gonna hold down, and then you could get the grab on them, but you could get the up throw into the rest. It's like that's the only thing they're scared of at this percent. So I wouldn't really shield that much, especially when you just like get hit at low damage. There's really no reason to shield in the sequence at all. But
yeah, that's my biggest issue in this matchup. I definitely shield way too much, and then when people play me enough, then they know I'm gonna shield, so then they just start grabbing me, and then I get grabbed a million times every set against a Fox.
yeah, it's like there's the only reason to shield in this matchup is like to shield drop or to like catch a drill. And there's some sequences, like let's say you're past the knockdown percent, where even if you crouch cancel the nair, it will lead to a knockdown for Fox. Then you want to shield, because that's just not a good spot for you. You don't really want to like be in shield after low damage at all, or at high damage either, in the same situation.
Okay.
Okay, don't really know what this falling up air was, but it's not the worst thing in the world, because you're still like in a safe position. If you'd like drifted away like the last time, then it would be pretty bad. So like I was saying, with space, Fox saw you were full hopping here and just started dashing right at you. That's just what happens whenever you full hop, whenever like you shouldn't, essentially. Like I was saying, the only reason to full hop here is like just waveland on the platform. But what I was talking about with the short hop auto cancel back here, that would have been perfect right here instead of doing this full hop one.
Yep.
So that would have been really good. Short hop nair doesn't really make sense in this matchup at all. Full hop nair is good because of the Sakurai angle grab at 0, but short hop nair doesn't really do the same kind of sequence. Short hop nair is like okay on FD, I would say, as a mix-up when you were facing Fox, but especially a backwards short hop nair doesn't really make sense in neutral at all, because it doesn't really set up for anything interesting, and you can't really get any true combos off of it, and you're going to be so close to Fox that he's going to probably be able to get a hit on you, so just try not to do that neutral. You also, a lot of your pounds, I don't know like why, but you don't really like you a rising pound a lot of the time, which like rising pound's like just always better in neutral. So
Okay.
yeah, because like let's say like he was shielding here, and sometimes when you do the rising pound here and you hit the top of his shield, it's very hard to actually punish that out of shield, even with up smash. This will happen a lot versus like ice climbers, for instance. If you ever played against them a lot, where if you rising pound against ice climbers shield, sometimes you can actually not even get punished if they are facing you. If they're facing away, they can always back to shield. But if you're facing them and they're facing you, and you pound their shield like high with a rising pound, you actually can't get punished. And it's kind of similar against Fox. You just want to make it hard as possible, which is why rising pound's good. And also, it's just a little bit better hitbox in this situation, because if they jump sometimes too, you can also catch them jumping.
Okay.
And you just basically get hit for doing a pound. And that's gonna happen regardless. That's why I was talking about the mix-ups with the level 1, level 2, level 3. You just didn't prevent back air enough from a platform, or like just in general, like a short hop back air to actually get a pound. It's good that you're going for pound though, because that's the only thing that knocks down this percent besides the grab, obviously.
Yeah, and then also, could you talk about like how getting down safely against Fox? I think is something I really need to know about.
Yeah, I was trying to get to a high percent first before I saw that.
Okay, sounds good.
I can skip around a little bit and see if I can get to a high percent situation. Okay, so this is a good enough. So essentially, when you're coming down against Fox, the main ways to come down are edge cancels, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier, but you can do them even when Fox is like on the ground and you're kind of high up. Edge cancels are like pretty good. Like only use down air though, or forward air. Those are pretty much the only moves you want to edge cancel with. Just because when you hit a down air, sometimes if they jump into the down air without doing a move, you can just down air and then just falling up air, and then you can just combo to wrestle all the time. That's a pretty common sequence. And then with forward air, it just gives you a good like hitbox manipulation. And essentially just how forward air works. It's like it like squeezes your body pretty tight, so it's hard to hit like a move on it. So that's why forward air is pretty good in general from just like doing like an empty move when you're like trying to recover. But in this sequence, this is like fine gameplay. This is not the worst. But Fox is in a position now that he should pick a few things here. Fox can try and like run and dash and try and upper you right here. This is a very common up air. This is what you want to avoid. You're in a reactable situation where if Fox starts trying to jump at you or something like that, you can just do a nair to intercept them jumping, and then you can catch their up air, and you trade with the up air, and the trade is good for you because it doesn't get the strong hit of the up air. Just like, you know, kind of like an STI almost, or like if they miss their up air, it's the same thing. You just nair right when they are about to hit the up air, and then you trade, and then you get down. They usually like act out before they can, and then just hit them for trying to upper you in general, which is very good if you're in this type of sequence. If you're over here a little bit more, let me see what you actually do. This nair was not good because it was not intercepting anything. And you also don't land on the platform. If you landed on the platform, this was okay. I still don't like it at all because if Fox sees you nair from that high, they can just wait here and then just do like an up air or a back air right here in the spot instead of dashing to center. But the Fox picks the correct option. So that nair wasn't good. If you were to do a type of move like that, I would just have an edge cancel. Going to ledge is very important too. You can also like, instead of doing like this nair here, like I was saying about Fox doing this kind of up air, go back so I can explain it a little bit easier. Oh my god, I hate when something just crashes. There we go. Okay, so let's say you go over here and Fox is like here. Fox can just try and do this up air, which is very common. So to beat that, you can like drift around the up air on reaction and then just drift here, and then falling up air right here. And then you hit Fox for being in the air like around here with the up air. And that's like very, very common. Hungrybox is very good at that. So that's another sequence to beat Fox here. A lot of times Foxes will just be very passive in the spot though and not go for that up air. And when that happens, you can just take the platform for free, not even doing a nair or an edge cancel. Like right here, you could have just taken the platform for free instead of doing the nair, and you could have just reacted to be like, oh, he's gonna try and jump at me, and then I could just like wave it off the platform and do the up air. Like I was talking about training mode. But yeah, there's like essentially, like, level 1 is, like, you want to try and get the platform if you can for free. If not, you can try and intercept their up air with a Nair to try and get frame advantage on them. Or you can go to ledge if you feel that you're low on jumps or you feel that the Fox is scaring you. What I mean by that is, like, they are playing in a range where you don't know whether they're going to up air, they're going to turn around and backer you if they try and go to the platform, or they're going to try and up smash the ledge, where you can try and, like, backer over here, and then just, like, make it think like you're going to land on stage with, like, a Nair or backer, and just go to ledge instead, and then turn around backer and make your way into stage, and stuff like that. That's, like, essentially how, like, the recovery is. It's, like, pretty easy once you, like, understand, like, what Fox is looking for. Because, like, in this percent, he's looking for the up air, like I was talking about earlier. So that's his main way. He wants to actually hit you here. Where was I? We can just go from here. It doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
Okay, this snare, like I was saying, this is a common setup that Foxes see. And he should have actually just recognized you were doing that Nair and up smash for you. So I do not like that landing Nair into stage. Like I said, you got the platform for free there, so that would have been good. Grab was fine there. Forward throw is a little bit sketch just because it's just going to lead him to a slide off situation. So you can just up throw and then go for like back air or something. That edge guard was fine. I would have liked you just to go out there because the reason why you would go out there in this situation is because Fox really can't do anything. I don't know why he went to the platform here, because he can't actually like side B here. Oh, you do, dude. I have this habit too. I really like doing like a Waveland off the platform for like, no reason here. It's really dumb. Just like try not to do that, because I have a problem with doing that too. It's just like it's such a, you don't want to waste inputs on an edge guard against Fox. Even like it's fun to do or like looks cool, so just try not to do that. So that edge guard was like fine.
So when you say go out there, like what would you have done in that situation, like right there?
Right. So I think this is okay. Okay, so right when I get this dash stack, in this situation, I am just going to full hop immediately, and then I can kind of cover a few side B heights when I full hop. So when I full hop like this, and Fox, let's say I'm full hopping, I'm going over here. And then I have the situation of covering side B heights. I can double jump and forward air. Let's say he tries to jump side B like this.
Yeah, then you catch him.
Yeah, and then I can like full hop and then react to this side B height and then just click fair while I'm falling. And that should cover this side B height. And then if he goes really low with the side B, you can just do a full hop and then keep falling. And then just hit the last side B with forward air. So it's kind of like, it's just hard to do on reaction. I'm not saying this is an easy sequence, but full hopping towards them in general though, like going out there, going off stage and trying to intercept. You can also just like, if they do like a double jump back side B, that one's pretty hard to catch on reaction. You have to read that one. So that's what I was saying about Fox just being OP off stage in terms of the fact that you have to read a lot of the time. So it's a lot of the times that you have to know what the Fox wants. But being on stage in this situation is pretty much worse against Fox, whereas against Falco, it's okay to be on stage. So it's a little bit weird to play both matchups. So I would have just like definitely not been doing this type of movement and just going off stage with a full hop and then trying to react. Or if I'm reading something, I'm going to be reading something as well too. Because if they ever do like an up B when you're off stage like that, it's a free just double jump like forward air. That's why being off stage is so much better than being like on stage, because it's just easier to react to up B. But in like low damage situations, you can't do this. The only reason you can do this is because Fox at this high percent. I'll see if there's like a low damage sequence that pops up, but okay. Alright, so Fox is really far away. You do this kind of forward air. So Fox, when he shoots a laser, he's gonna either laser again, like go for the full hop like this, or he's gonna try and like actually play smart neutral, because doing this type of laser is bad, because as soon as you see a laser, you did the correct thing where you just immediately try and like go out there against Fox. But this kind of only works if you do like a short hop laser here, but it's not. I like the fact that you went out there for the laser hits. So you have to recognize whether the Fox likes to do the second laser or not here, and how they do it. Most of the time they're gonna do a full hop laser, but sometimes they do the short hop. If they don't do this type of second laser, you just want to like the full hop like right here, and then like react to them dashing in, and then you can just do a falling back here and just cover them dashing in as well too. So that's like basically how I'd play that. But like I was saying, you're at 0, Fox at 0 here. I would have just like, instead of doing this full hop fair, I would have tried to grab the ending of the laser here, and that's even if he does a short hop laser here like you expected him to with the falling fair, I would have just landing with him instead of doing this fair at all, and just trying to fast fall tomahawk grab, and would have just been the way to get to the knockdown percent. Okay, that was basically the same sequence I was talking about earlier, where you land on the platform and Fox is like, oh, I'm gonna try and like hit him for fun, and you could have actually shield grabbed this for sure.
Yeah, I must have messed up my input.
I think you like, you were really, I think you were just slow or something. I think you tried to shield grab based on the animation. So again, with the recovering, it's like an invisible line. You don't really want to try and take center off a recovery, because you have to get into this weird spot where you're like, I'm trying to nair to land here in center stage, where Fox can just run and catch me for doing this type of movement. So don't really try and take center off a recovery. That's like not really what you want to do. Sometimes you can, if Fox is really lazy with their up air timing, you can just like, they just go for an up air here, and then you just drift around them and take center. You can kind of do that. I don't think it's the best option, but just don't do this type of like, just try not to cross this line. Like, don't go past the platforms, essentially. Kind of just like, I don't think that forward air is that great of a move in this matchup in general. I would just always be back airing pretty much. Forward air is like fine in combos, but it's pretty bad in neutral, because you can't really do like an auto cancel forward air off of a short hop. So that's like, it's very good to do an auto cancel back air off a short hop, and it's like insanely broken essentially to actually like cover dashes. So that's why forward air is not that good. Falling forward air is a sequence Hungrybox does a lot, I will say, but a lot of the times forward air is only good when you have a lead, whereas if you don't have a lead, you can't really actually approach well with it essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no mix-up off it really. Kind of doing nothing here. You crossed the center line, so you just died there. And that was also a sequence where you could have like edge canceled off the slide platform, or like Waveland off the slide platform as well.
Yeah, I'm starting to see I don't really like use platforms that much in this matchup, and I definitely should.
Yeah.
I kind of get stuck trying to fight on the ground, where I don't really win there.
Well, what I'll say about fighting on the ground versus the platforms. So the platforms is an easy way to approach and to play defensive, but when Hungrybox does like I was talking about earlier with like the kind of like lazy like camp play style, where he like does like the shield drop or like will drop through back air forward air stuff, it's low reward, because let's say they're at knockdown percent like 35 from the back air, they get by the back air, they tech away, and then you get like stage position, yeah, but a lot of the times you just want to be in lag, so you actually don't really get that much. You just get damage, which isn't really like what you want. So that kind of gameplay is really only good with like a stock lead. Whereas like playing on the ground, let's say you're at high percent and you're like same stocks, like you're at like 100 and then they're at like 20. It's honestly still better, almost like risk reward wise, to play on the ground and try and get like a wave dash grab at a shield, like trying to like, let's say they try and do like a falling up air or something like that, or like a nair on your shield, and before like shine comes out, you try and like wave dash out shield, turn around grab. It's like kind of movement like that to try and get like a high risk like reward type of gameplay. Whereas like, because being on the ground is scary for sure, because you can get like up smashed easily, and that's like the most obvious way to die. You can get grab up there up air, but especially when you're out of up there up air percent, just shielding on the ground is fine, which shows. I'm not saying like hold shield, but like use it as a mix up to try and like wave dash out of shield and turn around grab, versus like approaches and stuff like that is fine. Because you can't crouch cancel at that percent, obviously, so you have to shield more. Okay. Don't know what that forward tilt was. You just get hit for that. Yeah, there is, like I was saying, like you were saying earlier with the shield stuff, like there is no reason to shield here. One, you're at 36, so you can still knock down. You can still crouch cancel like Nair. But the main reason is like Fox is so far away here that you're really not scared of anything. What I would have done here is I was wave dash off the platform into the edge, grab the edge, turn around back air, or you could have just like jumped away and just like caught them for doing a grab here, and then just like you can either falling up air and try and grab, or you could have just done a safe back air, go to ledge or something like that. Both are fine. So it's like, yeah, just really not great shield.
Yeah, I'm trying to break that habit. That's like one of my worst habits in this matchup.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of forward air. It's like you haven't like gone for a grab consciously at all. It's hard to set up a grab, I will say, but the main reason you can't get a grab right now is because you're using forward air. If you're using back air, you can get a grab easier because if you're using back air in neutral, a lot of the times they will shield, like the Sheik matchup. I'm not saying like off the platform. Off the platform, they're not going to shield your back air most of the time. They're going to try and dash back it. But if you're on the ground with them, they're going to try and shield your back air. And then they're just trying to like wave dash out, shield, jab, up smash you. And that sequence, you want to try and get a tomahawk grab. That's how you can actually get a grab this damage. So that's why forward air just doesn't work. Nair should have got you killed. I like the pound. Okay. This is like a risk reward thing. This is pretty important in this matchup. You know, so you don't really want to throw out these kinds of like forward smashes because, yeah, it's a knockdown percent, but even if you hit this forward smash, they just hold down and tech the ledge here, and then you actually don't get the knockdown you want. It's pretty similar to the high percent knockdowns where you hit like you from a back air and they just hold down and go to the ledge. It's like the same thing in the sequence. Okay, see that was fine. I think you could have like just tried to fast fall there and gone like to ledge earlier, but it doesn't really matter because you got Fox lacking and you just get a free kill, which is good. Okay, so now you're 150. You can be on the platforms and trying to like wave blend off the platform and like trying to intercept Fox. I don't think that's the right play, of course. I would just be not here for sure because the only way you die here is aerial. I would have just started on the ledge and then just tried to like not turbo Nair at this percent, but I would just like turn around back here, and then just try to like either go above him if he tries to like up smash or something like here, or I would just go back to the ledge if he tries to give it up and goes like dash back or something like that too. He just caught you there because you were in a bad spot initially. There's
not good. Yeah.
You do this a lot too, especially not even just at zero. Like this pound, like just never works. Like just not good. Like anytime you do a pound in the corner, like the only reason to do a pound in the corner, I think I talked about the Sheik stuff, but pounding like if they're doing aggressively edgeguarding you or like, and not against Fox, only against Sheik and like Falcon. It's pretty much the only time you want to pound there.
Oh, I missed that. That hurts.
Yeah, that was fine. Against Fox specifically, just try and do like more up air grab instead of up air up tilt because it just won't really combo that early against Fox.
Okay. I didn't even. That's such a unconscious habit. Like I have, I just every time I hit the up air, I'm like, oh, tilt.
Yeah.
This one I could just get the grab.
It's like it's because it doesn't knock down. If it was actually like a knockdown up air, then you could have actually gotten the up tilt here. Because this percent is just not going to knock down. If they do SDI up on the up air, which at this level of Fox they will not do the SDI up on up air, then you up tilt. That's just it's hard to actually notice that though in game. So just you can just get up air grab. That's why up air regrab is like the move always instead of like up air up tilt. Because if they don't SDI up, then you can always get a grab. What were you doing here? Yeah, you just like do the shield habit again. Let's just say you weren't shielding and doing a spot dodge for some reason. You could just like do like the auto cancel backer movement like I was talking about, or you could just do like a full hop. Like let's say before the spot dodge came out and before you shielded, you could just do a full hop, and then you had the option to go to the platform, or you could have done like a Waveland off and just tried to like falling up air if they like try and like full hop, like dash full hop and try and like intercept you here. You could have done that. You could have done like the full hop Waveland off the platform to this kind of back air. Like you do like you drift this way and then you back air like this to try and catch them dashing into center. There's like a couple different options you could have done here. You could have done like, if you think they're gonna dash back here, you could do like a top, like the short hop again. You could do the fast fall, like L cancel back here, off the short hop. That's really good to catch dash back, but in this situation, they're so far away that it wouldn't have worked. So you could have just tomahawked and take space, and then you're in the corner situation. You're 24, so up air knocks down, and then you can try and like grab their dash in, back air them sitting in place, stuff like that, like the corner sequence. So this was like pretty good for you if you just didn't do like this like shield spot dodge stuff. You could have just gotten a really good situation overall. You either gotten center, you had center, but you could have either gotten a hit with a Waveland mix-up, or you could have just like tried to like force like your situation and try and take corner as well too. I would have preferred probably taking this situation more than going to the platform here, but both are acceptable. This is just a forward air falling up air habit. Like this is like, I don't think it's gonna like work enough of the time. If you want to do this kind of like forward air and then an up air, you want to do a rising up air because that will catch their full hop. It's hard to actually catch their full hop with the up air, but if you do catch them, since your backer doesn't knock down, and the only other moves that knock down for you are like dash attack and like pound. Not even dash attack, I think, knock down before these up air. But yeah, I would have just done forward air and then done a rising up air here if you want to try and get an up air at all, which would have been pretty good. Okay, you just like do like spot dodge mix-ups. Like you see how like right here, like you can just like set off a Waveland off the platform, and then like you have a Fox like just really scared for their life. Yep. Yeah, because it's 36, so backer knocks down, so you're loving that your level 1 mix-up knocks down. And then pound obviously will get you to a knockdown. And then like you can obviously just like wave off the platform, land, and then like you could do like even a dash attack here instead of like empty land and try and set up a corner situation. You could probably kill him too. Like this would have been perfect if you just wave off the platform. Okay, this is another. So, like I was saying about Nair, it's really only good at like 0 when it knocks down, when it doesn't knock down into like them being able to crouch cancel it. So like 0% Sakurai angle grab, or at like the 70% I was talking about earlier, where it like knocks down to get like a Nair dash attack or Nair forward dash. But this type of Nair doesn't really make sense because you full hopped 1, so that's not great, and then you full hop from such a far distance, and then Naired that he was so far away that he could react. Even with like the slowest reaction time, that you were just doing a Nair in center, and then just like red up and punish you like every time. So it's kind of like a reaction situation where you're so far away and full hopping that it's just never gonna hit. And then this pound is just like another pound from the corner sequence. It's just,
yep.
So yeah. All right.
I do feel better in that when I play against Foxes, I don't really know what's going on, but now like I have like a better idea in my head. Honestly, I don't even know how I was being Foxes before, because sometimes watching my gameplay, I'm like, how is this working? But because I have like 3 or 4 mix-ups that like I kind of just, I'll keep doing it. Like, granted, this wasn't me playing at my best, but that's perfectly fine. You know, I wanted to show you like what an average day of me playing Fox would look like, because I shouldn't have to be playing at my best to beat a Fox.
Yeah.
So my main mix-ups have just been like Waveland back stuff. Like I just like Waveland back a lot, or like I'll do a lot of empty hop movement, and then like I'll randomly just Waveland towards them, grab, where it's just like a lot of grab stuff. But yesterday I was playing against Heartstrings. He's been going Fox. He doesn't play Sheik at the moment.
Yeah. And
every time I'd get a grab, I'd get like nothing off it, and I'm like, well, I don't know what the hell to do now.
Yeah.
So like, that's also why I'm really glad that I'm getting some coaching, and that you've been giving me a lot of tips on like more platform movement stuff, and in terms of the mix-ups I have.
Yeah.
When a Fox is just like randomly just approaching me over and over again and like dash dancing and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, in terms of dash dancing, I don't think I talk about this, because it's when they dash dance like far away, it's very similar to laser, where you want to like just start like running at them, but like when you run at them versus like them lasering, you don't want to full hop. You always want to like short hop when they're dash dancing, and then you take space on them, That's like the entire reason they're giving, like every time they laser or they dash dance, they're giving up space to try and either to bait you to approach essentially or get damage with the laser. But that's why empty land stuff is really good in general. Okay, again, short Hop Nair, just never the move. This stage, so the platform mix-ups on this stage actually are really weird. So on like smaller stages, better than bigger stages, your backer covers way more of the stage than it actually does already. So it's kind of like your backer is basically like a pound on this stage. And then the same way goes for Fox, where his moves get bigger because it's such a small stage. So it kind of changes the dynamics. So you kind of almost want to work off this platform more and just like do more like defensive baits off of the platform and do like the Hungry Box like drop through back air and forward air stuff. It's like better on this stage than like Battlefield, for instance, because there's so much less space here to actually like set up a platform sequence. Because you try and set up the platform sequence, they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna just dash and then just throw out a move in center stage, and they're just gonna probably hit you for doing like Waveland off the platform. So on this stage, it's like more about playing like in the corner almost, but not really. And then like taking like an aggressive mix-up whenever they do the dash dance stuff. And like taking center when you can. So like the platforms get a little bit weird. So like platform game is really good on Battlefield and Dreamland. And then defensive platform game is better on like Yoshi's and Fountain. And then also Stadium's good for the aggressive platform game as well too.
And then what do you think about, so I'm starting to think about just like counter picking people here instead of like Fountain of Dreams, like when Dreamland isn't up, because I'm not gonna lie, I struggle so hard on FOD just because like the blast zone shenanigans where they could kind of always recover with side B and up B, and it's like so ambiguous to me that, and I also can't see it. And here I'd actually tend to do way better than on any other stage against Foxes, even Dreamland, because I just play like really aggro and I do like really, I'll say like aggressive shit, like I'll just like go towards them a lot, and it kind of works out more here because I feel like the mix-ups off stage are way easier for me to understand because it's such a short distance everywhere that like I could kind of, like you said, cover with back air and hit everything.
Yeah. So like I agree with like pretty much everything you're saying. I think that Yoshi's is pretty good for Puff overall, like, but the reason why Yoshi's bad though is because against a really good Fox, it's like you get grabbed on Yoshi's, or you get nared on Yoshi's. You get nair up tilt, and then you can die off like up air at like literally like 40% every time, and it's like it kind of almost makes like the entire game plan just be very defensive. Even though you can be more aggressive on this stage, like let's say they're in the corner, you can actually throw out more aggressive mix-ups rather than patient mix-ups when you get them cornered. Like you don't have to necessarily do like the Alex Puff stuff pressure on the corner of the stage where you can just be like, I'm just gonna read this random option and just like you can get an aggressive like read and just like kill them for it. Or on this stage it's like it's easy to do that. I just think the survivability is like really important on the other stages. That's why I don't think that Yoshi's is like as good as like Fountain. I think they're close though. So it's like a comfort thing if you want to pick Yoshi's. It's fine. I think it's okay. Dreamland's definitely better still, even if like Dreamland's getting worse for Puff in the meta game, just because of how like much counterplay there is now.
Yeah.
So I like how you're at this distance. Like, it's fine, I would say, like where you're playing at right now. As soon as you see him lasering, this is good. This time you actually read him jumping, which is good because the last time, I don't know if this game was I think this game was after the other one. This, like the last time he did a jump, so this was good.
Yeah, this was like later on in the set where I was kind of understanding him more. But like when I understand stuff, it's more like intuitively. Like I'm not actively thinking about the habits they're doing. It's just like, I guess like my muscle memory kind of understands the distances I need to play at.
So this sequence was basically like an aerial crouch. Like I didn't mention aerial crouch yet because like it's not that good in this matchup. But the only times that you really want to aerial crouch is if you know the Fox really wants to jab your landing. In this sequence, like you just kind of like land and just like kind of take the jab for no reason. If you know that the Fox is gonna most of the time try and like jab your landing and do a jab grab or jab up smash, just like try and like aerial crouch a lot.
Okay.
another sequence would be like if you're back airing Fox shielding, and you just like do like a safe back air, or you're doing like an L cancel like fastball back air on the shield. You just aerial crouch. They try and like wave dash out a shield jab. You just do cross cancel grab. You get like a free kill basically a lot of time because they're not gonna be airing.
My fear with that is whenever I try to do aerial crouch, they just like run up grab me, and then I'm like fucked. I'm like, oh well, I just got grabbed, and now I just took 20-30%. Whereas like if they jab me here, okay, like I got jabbed, but what really can he do after that? I think
basically jab grab here because he didn't crouch cancel grab. But I'm not saying to do it every time. Like I was saying, it's like mostly just when you know the Fox will jab here. It's more of a read on an aerial crouch rather than an always type of thing to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you like instead of doing the aerial crouch, you do the aerial and then just wave dash after the aerial when you land. It's pretty common mix up against Mark. So it's like that's your other mix up there instead of doing like just kind of like taking the hit instead. But it's fine. Okay, you full hopped here. Fox realized that was the time to just take advantage of that and just try and nair on your shield. Oh wow. I think you could have actually I don't know why you do this kind of like turnaround shield movement. I don't know if this is okay, you tried to roll.
Yeah, it was like it's wave dash out of shield, but then I mess it up.
Yeah, if you just wave dash out shield, turn around, grab on that nair every time, you just get so much openings. That's why this stage is good for that type of game plan at like low damage or even at high damage. Like even though you don't really want to grab every time after like I would say before 17 because like pound is really good obviously, but it's hard to hit a lot of times. So that's why grab is best before that percent. But you do this kind of aerial onto the platform. If you tried to like aerial more to like the left side, you could have probably like gotten an edge cancel, or you could have like just drifted away more. It was more of a recognition thing. When the stage is smaller, then the Fox again has more time to like hit you for full hopping, so you have to recognize that and just short hop a lot more on the smaller stages.
Okay.
Because like going to a platform is really hard to do on these kinds of stages, like without getting punished for a full hop.
Well, that was just bad.
Yeah, just another pad from the corner.
I will break that habit.
I will say though, like Yoshi's, he's pretty fast, but most of your games against Fox are like 2 minutes long.
Oh yeah, that's I fucking scrap too much, and then like, yeah, I definitely need to play more patient.
You kind of have to match the pace of like what the Fox is setting you the game at. Essentially, like if you notice the Fox is like really technical heavy and like they're gonna like spam a lot of nair and then just like try and run at you a lot, you can just play the more defensive mix up, even if you don't think like it's the right percent, I would say, because they will run into like the wave dash back grab enough of the time when like you're at low damage, or like even at like 30 or something like that before back air knocks, even if you want to try and get an up air instead. It's like when you notice the Fox is really fast, you just want to try and like play more defensive mix-up. If you notice they're very like campy and stuff like that, then you can go for more aggressive mix-ups. Like this Fox is like kind of just like holding forward a lot of the time with like nair and stuff, so I would just try and slow the game down and just like try and play more patient. It's like Foxes like this and like Panda, like Moki, you just want to really slow the game down against them so you can like try and like control the pace. I'm not saying Puff controls the pace in this matchup, or I think Fox really does, because he can just laser, and that's how he controls the pace. But since there's no lasers coming out, you can just play more defensive mix-ups, essentially.
Okay.
Okay, why do you get hit here? This back air, you actually don't get the back air coming out, which is unfortunate, but this wave dash to center doesn't really make sense. You could just like empty landed here instead of doing this wave dash to center. Then you had basically a mix-up where you just try and grab their dash out of the corner, or you can just up air them, and that's basically your tiny mix-up. Or you can just try and like tomahawk again and just like get a grab if they just start shielding. But yeah, you try to full hop again, try and do this back air. So if you just short hop and done this back air, you would have hit him before you got the nair out. But or you could have just done a wave dash back, because like I was saying, because done a more defensive mix-up, did wave dash back on the nair, which he was obviously going to do because he just wants to hold forward with the nair. You don't get a true CC. That's just unfortunate. Fair falling up air, just try not to do it as much, just fair and then rising up air if you think you want to actually get it up air. Okay. That was a good pound. Okay, he just dies.
He just dies. He just dead. We love that. We love that.
Yeah. Again, that was the same kind of Nair where it's not that good. Where it's just like trying to cross the center line for no reason, and Fox should be able to react there. Wow, you tried dash here. If you just did like wave dash turn around grab, you actually got this hit, which is great.
Yeah.
Really good. Up air into grab. Oh, darn.
Oh, this is a mix-up I lose a lot to. Like this exact thing happens to me all the time, where they roll to the left because they never go right. And then I always try to go for the grab, and then they just like spot dodge, and I just lose. I'm just like, do I forward smash or do I wait for the grab? I mean, do I wait for the spot dodge? Like just in this micro situation.
Right here, you do a jab, which is, I would say, the first time you ever pound a Fox, you can go for this jab. But if you notice that the Fox texted the first time, but literally just never go for this jab. I don't know, since we haven't gone over the other games, I forget if you've gotten any of these like up through pound, they've missed a tech here. But
no, but
yeah,
that is something I will keep in mind, because that is definitely a bad habit of mine where I go for the jab because I'm like, oh, they're gonna miss it this time. But you're right, if they hit it one time, I just gotta respect that they can hit it.
Yeah.
But the first time I won't respect it.
Yeah.
I just assume they miss it.
Yeah, I always just assume they miss it the first time. Unless I've played against them before, then I know they're going to always hit it or always miss it. Sometimes in the clutch you can do this, but especially where it's like 3 stocks and 3, I would just never like try and jab reset a Fox that stun at once. So that's why you missed the tech chase in general, because you the jab reset, so you don't have enough time to actually yeah, you don't have enough time to actually catch him here. So
okay, so this is still like, if I didn't jab, this is reactable. Like, yeah. I could have gotten this grab. Okay.
Yeah, like whenever you do an up there pound like that and they get into a knockdown, that is a, I don't want to say guaranteed grab. It is a guaranteed grab if you, it's technically reactable, but it's more of a guess. If you know, in a lot of the situation, you know that the Fox is going to tech roll in here rather than tech rolls to the ledge. So this is a grab, but because you do the jab, you can still get a grab because Fox has to like spot dodge here or shine. A lot of times it'll be spot dodge. So you can just like chill like right here, wait out the spot dodge, and then they'll do a defensive option where they're going to shine most of the time. So you can try and catch that. It's pretty hard to grab the spot dodge here, which is why I don't really recommend doing that. So I would just wait right here. Usually they shine. I just grab the shine right after, or they jump, and then I just up air the jump. It just depends on what Fox does. And he does shine.
Had you gotten that grab, would you still have up throwed, or would you have done something else?
Up throw, because down throw tech chase is not a thing on Fox or Falco. It's just not a reaction tech chase situation because their weight. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Do a random forward smash. Why do you do this? I just don't know what was going on here.
Yeah, that was just. I don't know what that was either.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so at Fox, like I was saying about like one hard read and one soft read at the beginning, you usually want to intercept him before he even goes to the top. Like you want to intercept him as you go to the top platform. Like landing here is fine, but you kind of like go. This is like your hard read essentially. You try to like read him dashing here, whereas I don't know if he's actually gone for this full hop enough. But I would say as my hard read when I'm playing this matchup, as I drift right here, and then I decide whether I'm going to go for a back air like this, or like a back air like this if they're over here. And then I decide, like, am I going to go for an up air read instead? Because you have to basically do a 50-50, like, on the, like, hard read part. But, like, a soft read is never 50-50. It's usually trying to cover, like, trying to cover the second option, if you can try and manage that. So like what I would have done here is like I would have gone for the up air most of the time. I think that's a pretty good default against Fox. But let's say you go for this back air like you do. Now you're in a situation where you have to get a soft read for confirm. So most of the time I would say Fox is going to jump again. So doing this kind of up it, like you kind of like jump in, jump back. I don't really know what this was trying to do, like do this forward air. Like I don't really know like what you're like soft reading here. Whereas like what I would have done is I would have tried to drift with the fox, and then they usually are gonna jump because they don't want to like just like run off the platform like right here. Like they're never gonna do this type of like movement against you. So I would have just kept jumping with them, and then I would have just 50-50 when they're gonna jump again or they're gonna like just like try and like shield drop back air me or something like that. So you have to like pay attention to what the fox does all the time in these kinds of hard read, soft read situations. But yeah, you just kind of like get stuck in your movement and like waiting like timeout. What was this up smash? Okay, so I guess this is like kind of a thing I'm seeing. Like you kind of just like throw out a smash attack at like these like weird interception points.
Yeah.
I just
Just go for a hard read for no reason.
yeah. Oh my god. But yeah.
Cause I don't even know if that combos into rest.
Not really necessarily.
Or if he didn't DI it, but
yeah. Okay. Wow. This was
That was-
ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just another thing where like I was talking about like getting scared of Fox. You weren't scared of Fox the way you should have been. Like most of the time, like landing with this kind of forward air doesn't really make sense. Like I was saying, when you get scared of Fox, or you should be scared in the situation of getting up smashed, just go to ledge and then just like turn around back air here. I look over my notes to see if like there's anything else I want to talk about, because I feel like I've talked about most of the basic stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't want to like mindlessly do the rest of this game without having a game plan. I mean, I've talked about pretty much everything, but we can just like finish this game out. Is there any other questions while like we go through the last like stock or so?
Okay. Well, this Nair trade is kind of what's fucking me up. Like that Nair. I get hit by that one like so often where they just like rising Nair.
Yeah.
And I don't really know. I mean, I guess I could like wave dash back, but they just drift backwards after they do it, and then it's just like, well, we're back to neutral.
Yeah, it's a situation where sometimes you can like pound and trade with that kind of Nair, and then it's very favorable for you. But a lot of the times you either want to like up air them for doing that type of Nair, like short hop, fast fall filling up air, if they're gonna like Nair on top of you. Wave dash back, yeah, you lose space for doing that, but if you guess right on the like the drift of the Nair, then you get an up throw, and then you can get a kill most of the time. So that's why the wave dash back is good. You don't really want to necessarily read them drifting back, because how do I say this? If they do not drift back, then it's pretty bad for you, because they'll probably hit you midair with the Nair, and then you're just gonna take damage for no reason. So like,
yeah,
you just have to let them like do the Nair. It's just really good neutral tool for Fox. It's like, unfortunately, just how the matchup goes. You kind of have to let it happen.
that was like really the last thing I wanted. You actually covered most of the stuff that I had questions about. Everything else was like, I was like lost in a lot of things in this matchup, and I feel like pretty good about it right now.
Nice. This is also a really good edge guard. It's probably why you like Yoshis a lot, because this is really obvious, just like kind of throughout this aerial here. And it's just like on the other stages, it's not really the same thing.
Yeah.
So
It makes way more sense to me.
yeah, it's like that was like basically like the only option you had, and like a lot of times that is how Yoshi works. Like you only have one option on the edge guard anyways, so it's like it's pretty easy to just pick your option, and whereas the other stages you have more options a lot of the time to have to figure it out. Up air grab, nice up throw. Wow, that's crazy that you even went for this type of sequence. That's pretty fun.
Cause I saw him spot dodge last time, so I thought it was gonna happen again.
Yeah.
But even then, I would have been way too early.
This time you didn't jab, so it's like even though jab would have been great for you, because obviously it was jab reset rest.
Yeah, exactly, because he
But-
missed it. I assumed he was gonna hit it.
Yeah, so yeah, this was fine, but then the S smash was the only bad part. If you just like went for the grab and just been like, oh, the only reason I was late last time is because I went for jab reset. So
Yeah.
that was a really good back here. Dang. Yeah, that was just a good game. But yeah, I think that's everything I have. But yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. I will say after our Sheik lesson. Every time I play like when I used to play random Sheiks like an unranked, I'd have like a tough time, but now it's like easy 3 stocks like every time. Uh, I still do have trouble against like really good Sheiks, but I didn't expect for things to like completely change overnight. But I do like that now when I play them, I'm not just like lost
Yeah.
how I felt because I'm afraid that since like I'm like really new to the game, that it's very easy for me to make like to have really bad habits ingrained in me that I can't, like wiggle out of because I'll be with it for like a year or 2 or 3,
Yeah.
So I'm really like focused on like weeding out the bad habits and like trying to have solid game plans all around and not just have like some kind of put together game plan that kind of works, kind of doesn't, and then like I'm just like lost every time I play.
Yeah, it's like whenever you get to a bad habit situation, like obviously when I weed them out immediately, it's like whenever you have a bad habit, you always want to make sure you replace it with something else, right? Rather than just like be like, I just need to stop doing this pound, but like, what should I do instead of like doing this pound in the corner? I should just like go to ledge and just like play patient or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's like really important, obviously. But yeah, I'm glad the Sheik's been helping.
I remember I asked Ryubeat what do I do when I'm like in tournament and I'm in bracket and I'm just doing like one really bad thing and I'm just getting blown up for. And he's like, well, instead of getting like upset about that one bad thing you're getting blown up for, just every time you think about doing it, just like try to replace it with some other move. That way, like you're at least like mixing it up somehow, and that it won't get you tilted anymore because at least you try to solve it. He's like, okay, if you're, I guess for my instance, if I'm doing this pound, instead of doing the pound, just like Waveland back or like drift backwards and then just whatever play whatever happens from there because at least then I'm safe. I think that's been really working out for me. But yeah, I appreciate the lesson always. I appreciate all the help. I'm definitely gonna be looking at this a couple times to just like rack my brain around it. Also, it's okay like if I record these. Right?
Yeah, no, it's always good because I always get nervous that like the recording sucks due to my capture card. I'm not capture card, my grabs card. So
yeah. Well, I got like half of this. Cause like halfway through, I was like, "Oh, don't have your audio." I'm like, "That's cool," but the second half I do have.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
Yeah, I hope you feel better.
Yeah, no, thank you.
All right, peace.
See ya.